If you can get yourself to a place where you truly are doing things for other people and not in that survival mode that you're talking about, the whole game changes.
Right.
Whatever the client is buying has got to be worth more than the money that they're parting with in order to get it. And if it's not worth more to the client, then I'm not selling it.
Talk to the people behind you at the store. Pump the gas for the person at the gas stall next to you. Get to know people out in real life so you're not nervous when you're doing it in their home.
We always say a furnace has never grown arms and wrote me a check. Like, people buy from people they love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People buy from people they like. People buy from people they trust.
Yep. Stop wasting your dead space with doom scrolling or music or video games or Netflix, like all of that stuff. Start to incorporate new habits to grow yourself. Otherwise, you will be stagnant. Hey, welcome to the Sales Wars podcast. My name is Andrew Dobbins, and we have a special episode today, not just doing a one-on-one, but we have 3 killers in the room, and I just want to go over with you who they are, actually let them introduce themselves, and then we're just going to talk and hopefully add a lot of value to the community. Go ahead, Gene.
So I'm Gene Slade. I'm the owner of Lead Ninja and the director of sales here at Intelligent Design. I've been in the business since I was 11 years old. And I'm a sales superstar, a sales giant.
You've been training for how many years?
Oh, since I was a baby. I came out with a training manual. No, I've been training since 2005.
And owned companies.
Yep.
Right? So company owner, salesperson, and trainer, and absolute master of your craft. So excited to have you here.
Appreciate it.
I'm Coral Whale. I specialize in turning maintenance calls into the highest generating revenue for a company. Last year I did approximately $3.7 million in sales generated from maintenance calls.
Booyah.
I'm Troy Whipple. I specialize in tech turn leads and creating teams. Last year I did $6.3 million with a team of 3 and plan on continuing to do so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
And I'm Andrew Dobbins. I've been in the trades for 23 years. I started my own company in 2009. Right now we're on pace for somewhere between 33 and 40 million this year, about 89 employees. And we have 5 trades: AC, plumbing, electric, roofing, and solar. So we're just going to go over some things and hopefully add a lot of value to everyone watching. So, all right. So, Gene.
What?
You just moved here, man. How was that move from Florida?
It was amazing, man.
Yeah?
God is good, and everything lined up exactly the way that it should. It was the easiest move that I've ever had, especially being 2,200 miles. So
That's a long way.
Yeah.
It was quite the ordeal to shut everything down, open it back up, and we're excited to have you here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, Doc.
Yeah. And Coral and Troy, you guys are in Colorado right now. You've been bouncing back and forth to kind of doing some work in Florida as well.
I've done some work across the nation. I was recently doing some work in Florida. Unfortunately, they closed down that branch.
Okay.
So, lately I've just been waiting for a good home.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. And I know you did over $6 million this last year, but you've been in this game a long time.
Sure.
So how did you get started in the trade?
I started in the trades in in-home service and carpet cleaning. And,
No kidding.
Yes, sir. And that evolved to duct cleaning, which led us to see dirty blower motors.
Yep.
And so, slowly the game evolved into HVAC. I broke into HVAC in about 2005.
Okay. So, wow, 21 years in
Yeah,
HVAC?
yes.
That's a good bit of time.
It's a good run.
And were you right into sales on HVAC, or you're doing other things?
Well, so, it was actually with a buddy of mine. We owned the carpet cleaning company together.
Yeah.
And so we got into it together, and we took the classes together and slowly got into it. We already had the sales game down from carpet cleaning and air duct cleaning. So that part was already good. We just need to learn the mechanics of the HVAC stuff.
Okay. So if you were to highlight like 3 things $6 million is a lot of revenue.
Yeah.
What do you think 3 things that are just really contributing heavily to that?
The process that I've developed over the years is huge. The relationship I have with the technicians is another huge thing.
Okay.
And then obviously the company that supplies the leads and the backup and good reviews, that's probably one of the best things as well.
Okay, so got to be at a good company, good reputation. You've got to have good technicians, or at least be able to train them. They've got to be willing to grow and learn. And then you're working heavily with them to serve that homeowner to the best of your ability.
100%. Having the lead situation, it gives a second form of validation too to the clients. It reassures them of what the tech has already told them. So I feel like that helps out a lot with the process, and it improves the closing percentage.
Okay.
Dramatically.
So you come into a company, you're needing to revolutionize how these technicians are operating. What are some of the hangups that you end up seeing, where stopping blocks that don't allow you to succeed at a high level in them, that you either have to have them get better or go somewhere else?
Sure. Well, I mean, a lot of the times, when you're in a team situation like that and everyone's money motivated, they have to be money motivated as well and willing to drive.
Okay.
So putting in the hours, the time, after work, putting in the time, looking on YouTube, watching podcasts like this, watching people like Coral Whale on podcasts, definitely gives people a different mentality of the game. So definitely encourage everyone. I usually give my techs homework too. Like, talk to the people behind you at the store, pump the gas for the person at the gas stall next to you, get to know people out in real life so you're not nervous when you're doing it in their home.
Okay. So you're going out, you're just talking to people and getting more familiar. Instead of, if you're a very technical tech and you get nervous talking to people, you got to get them out of that introverted mentality and be able to communicate with people.
100%. When I'm in a house, I probably talk about plumbing or HVAC maybe 5% of the time. 95% of the time, it's just getting to know people, building rapport, and obviously being disarming. That's huge.
Okay.
Can you say more about being disarming?
Yeah, that's great.
I think that's a personality trait, to be honest with you. I don't think everyone's born with it. I think people could develop it by living their life with integrity. But I think that's more of a personality trait, and being self-aware and being able to read people, just being in touch with yourself. The process I developed for the techs is very streamlined. So it kind of forces that out of people for the process I have, and that's why I streamlined it like that. But for people like me who've done it so long, and I'm a people person, it's just a natural thing for me, and it just happens just because. But that's why I developed the process, to kind of, so people aren't left with their own devices to try to figure it out. I've done this so long, I've been able to streamline a specific process. And what they do is they keep in contact with me through, either a Slack channel or WhatsApp or something like that. Okay. And I have my finger to the pulse all the time. And so I'm able to curtail it when I need to, just via text to them while they're at the call live.
So you're coaching them. You're managing a process, coaching them through this process, and helping them succeed and work with you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Also coaching them through life, because most of them are about 20, 25 years old. Yeah. I've lived life already, and so, they depend on me not only for technical stuff, for sales stuff. Also, they come to me with their problems, with their family, everything. I have a really good relationship with my techs. Some of my techs that I've even had 17 years ago when I started being a lead still call me till this day. So
you said two things earlier that a lot of people can consider complete opposites if they don't understand. You said money motivated, and you have to have integrity.
Yes.
Right?
Come on now.
If you mentioned money motivated, I was like, oh no, people are gonna think like that's you have to have integrity and go. You can be money motivated and have integrity.
100%. 100%.
And you can be broke without integrity, or you can have money with integrity. Like, they're not independent.
No.
So how do you protect homeowners from people that are money motivated and don't have integrity? Like, what are you looking for in a technician, and how do you catch it early and put that fire out?
Well, I get pictures of everything when they're on the call. So I'm seeing all the amps. I'm seeing all the pictures of how dirty it is. I'm seeing the nomenclatures for the age. Yeah. So everything I'm in touch with, and sure, a tech could send a picture that's not real or from another job. I get that. Yep. But, like I said, I have a really good relationship with these guys. Yeah. And so, it's a very slow hiring process. And it's hard to wrap your head around the process, especially when you're 20, 25 years old. So teaching someone to do it the proper way from scratch is always my favorite. You get the guys who've done this for a while, you try to teach them the process, and that's where things like you're talking about start happening, because they start using it as dark magic instead of a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the responsibility, I'm glad you brought that up with the dark magic. The responsibility that we have when we get good at understanding personality types, tone, the right questions, we have a responsibility to be looking out for the best interest of the customer, because we can sway the conversation. Used for evil is manipulation. Used for good is helping them get what's best for them. And you've got to constantly check yourself when you get as good as a lot of us are. You got to check yourself. Am I really doing what's in the best interest of this person, or am I doing this for me? If you're not doing that, you can go sideways real fast because the money's attractive.
Yep.
And so I love that you are keeping the pulse, getting the pictures, and really making sure they're doing this with integrity. And you've worked for a lot of big companies.
I have.
Companies like, people recognize, and now are big private equity firms.
Sure.
Some of them gain very bad reputations. It's like, man, what happened? Well, they cared more about the money than the people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? We don't want that.
No.
When you care about the people, you don't go for the immediate big sale if it's not what's right for them. You look at the lifetime value of the customer. We want to serve and love and care for those people for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get a $5,000 sale and then not continue to serve that customer. It's not best for you. It's not best for them. It's not best for the company. And we want
It's a short-term
win-win-win
plan.
scenario. Right. So go in with integrity, especially as you start to really gain these skill sets. Go in with integrity, and it will benefit you long term. You'll get the referrals. You'll be able to sleep at night. Be able to go look yourself in the mirror and take these skill sets, not used for manipulation, but to help people understand, educate them, and have it be best for them. So, yeah, anything.
My rule's always been that, whatever the client is buying has got to be worth more than the money that they're parting with in order to get it, right? And if it's not worth more to the client, then I'm not selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think about, sometimes the technicians will bring something to me and just say, hey, this customer needs this. I don't just say, oh, okay. Like, wait, why?
Why?
What are we solving? Because sure, we can sell them that, and maybe they do have this problem, but what are we solving? What's going to help them? Are we changing their life? Are we making them healthier? If it's purification, all of the different health risks or allergies or things that are going on there. If it's, let's say, cleaning and sealing the ductwork, like, yeah, the ducts leak. They have a $100 electric bill. They're not bothered by the dust, and they don't have hot and cold pockets. Why are they going to spend that money? And even though it might be leaking, is it going to benefit them enough to get a return on investment in some way or another? So,
Sure.
Yeah. Anything to add there?
I mean, I've always kind of said, if you just take care of the client, the money will follow. And it's a really hard thing to wrap your head around in the beginning when you're first starting out, because there's no money, right? You don't have any of it, so you don't see it, right? But once the money really does start coming in and you're serving the client to the best of your ability and finding the proper solutions for them, then money is not an issue for them, nor for you as a technician. So it seems like the better the options you come up with, the more money you make. Mm-hmm. But it has to benefit the client, or else they won't buy it.
Yeah.
So it all goes hand in hand. So you need to make sure that all of the options you're leaving have integrity behind them.
Yeah.
And when they realize that those products are products that they need, that they're going to purchase, that they love, they're also going to recommend that their family members come and purchase that same product for you. So not only are you starting to make really good income, you're making it residual income.
Yeah. Have you heard of Maslow's laws? You ever heard of that, anyone? No?
I've heard of it, but I couldn't state it.
Okay, so basically we have certain needs as humans, right? And if you're starving for those needs, you can make really bad decisions,
Sure.
right? And so we have a nonprofit in Uganda, and they are starving literally, and they have the youngest population in the world with the highest unemployment rate and have no skills, and make really decisions that are not good for them because
Sure.
not a lot of choices. You're in survival mode.
Yep.
And so when you're in survival mode, it can be money or food, it can be relationship. You act in a way that's not good. And as these youngins come in and you're training them, they may be in that place and they're in survival mode and they can seek money in a bad way, right? And then you start to have some success, right? So you go from survival to success, and then you can spend more, you can do cool things, and eventually your steak can only be so thick. You can only have so many toys. You can have there gets a point where if you're just seeking after money, it leads to emptiness. And then you can discover the real purpose in significance, giving back and serving other people, whether it's giving money away, your time, your knowledge. And we've got to help them have integrity when they're in survival mode to get to success, and then teach them about significance, giving back. And so Maslow's laws, look it up. It's really cool. He goes through these different levels and all the different needs of a human. And it's something that really matters to me in giving back. And I've never had more fulfillment than when I have someone who absolutely cannot buy a system and they have no cooling and it's the dead of summer and we just give one to them and go and install it. That, when you experience that, I've had a few just really heartfelt experiences where one lady, I'm in there doing an estimate, trying to sell a unit, and like I had to lift her feet up for her to get into bed, and she's just like can't barely move. Failed financing, no family members, like the ability to give them that's significance.
Yeah.
Didn't make any money that day, way more valuable. And I love doing that. It's good stuff.
Well, it always feels better to give than to get, doesn't it?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
You're really good at that. So I see you on a regular basis serving and giving and going out of your way to just do something for someone, right? And I'm just watching it happen in real time as I'm getting to know you better, and it's awesome to see.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't make me cry.
I
will. I'll cry right here on the podcast.
Thinking about that lady that I'm like fighting back the tears because it is that impactful, you know?
Yeah, I mean, true joy comes from serving other people, right? Yeah. And helping them to achieve things that either they didn't know that they could achieve, or just helping them with something that they can't help themselves with. Yeah. And people really don't care what you know until people don't care what you know until they know that you care about them, right? That's Zig Ziglar and Ed Foreman.
Yep, 100%. And we're all a part of a service industry. And if you put in that sweat equity, you get to know them a little bit, and you serve them, you let them know that you care, and then you're just talking about things that could benefit them and whether or not they want it. We're not pushing things at people. We're just identifying things and asking them, you want to fix it?
Yeah, sharing your findings. It's not even a recommendation, right? This is what we found. You just go recommending stuff and see how much people buy.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's what it is. What should we do?
Oh, stop it. Don't bring that Uncle Joe stuff.
You don't like Uncle Joe? Come on, man.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I said, don't bring it in this room, dog.
Oh, man. I've taken pieces over the years from lots of people.
We all have.
Right?
We all
As
have,
long as you don't say it 17 times in a row, I'm good. Right? One time and we're done.
That's what we do. We take little chunks of everybody, right? And then we make it our own.
100%.
And so, Troy and I were talking about it when we were outside, was like, how do you describe to somebody, how do you teach somebody how to care?
Oof.
Yeah.
Like, as really good salesmen that care about people that aren't in survival mode, so we're not forcing things upon people.
Yeah.
And somebody comes to us and says, let's role play a situation. How do you do this? How do you do that? And I turned to Troy and I was like, I will role play and I do have scenarios in my head, but how do I tell somebody that I don't get a lot of objections?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you teach that? Because you want to teach it. You want to show these kids and everybody in the industry and women and females in the industry, like, you can do this. I can't teach you how to have integrity, and I cannot teach you how to care about Miss Jones. so that she trusts you and that she buys from you and that you educate her and that you're serving her.
Yeah.
I struggle with that too, Coral. And the word that I use is love. You have to love your clients.
Right.
And not like love your clients, just love that human being across the table from you.
Yeah.
If you can get yourself to a place where you truly are doing things for other people and not in that survival mode that you're talking about, the whole game changes.
Right. Yeah.
I think the vibration changes when you don't actually care if you get the sale.
Yeah.
Right? You can go in and care for them beyond what you think they can do for you financially. Just actually care about them. And then when you're presenting, you don't care. Like, do you want it or not? And then, going and dealing with the objections, like the process of the call, the natural conclusion of that is for them to select something without objection. If you have an objection, what did you miss?
Right.
Right along the way, do they not trust you? Do they not know that you care? And maybe there is something where they just can't afford it, or they have to talk to their spouse. But it's just a natural flow when you really care about them. And if you don't care, it's like, I don't care if you get this. I'm just presenting options. I like to say I'm the buffet manager. I'm going to lay the whole buffet out for you. If you walk into a buffet, I don't know if we did this when we were talking earlier, but you guys haven't heard me do this. When you present options and it's a massive amount of different things, you can get a visceral reaction from
Oh,
people.
yeah. Sure.
And so I have started. I always like top down. I show minimum mandatory, but then everything that they say they want to look at, I'm showing them everything. And the idea is this: if you walk into a buffet, you pay your $50, you get the fancy buffet, you've got lobster and steak and all of that, and you go in and half of the buffet is not there. All that's left is the salad and French fries and some starches, right? How are you going to feel?
Not
PO'd.
happy.
I got ripped off.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Right?
Upset.
Now, on the other hand, if you lay the entire buffet out, the buffet manager puts it all out there, you walk in and you decide you only want salad and French fries. That guy's not mad you didn't get ketchup. He doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care if
Right.
you have soda. He doesn't care that you didn't get the steak. And I don't care either. So I'm the buffet manager. We're going to lay the buffet out, pick the food you want.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to only show you half of the buffet.
Right.
Yeah.
And we also find I know a lot of us, we have all personally dealt with this where people are like, how are you doing this ethically and making so much money, right? And it's kind of
Because money's bad, right?
Yeah, money's horrible. We're not supposed to make it, but why do the most successful people have it? And it's like, I don't feel like Troy's out there shoving equipment down somebody's throat, right? And we always say a furnace has never grown arms and wrote me a check. Like, people buy from people they love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People buy from people they like. People buy from people they trust.
Yep.
And so we've gained this ability to be able to get that from our clients. Never once in my life did the furnace grow arms and write me a check and then told me to install it. It has always been it's a people job, right? And going back to the very beginning, the money will always follow, but you have to also dedicate yourself to training. I feel
Come on,
like,
preach.
a lot of people are just jumping into this industry and saying, well, I hate you and I don't believe what Gene is training on. And Andrew, you've got to be doing something scammy to the clients because you're so successful. And there's no way Troy is building culture in a company that's not supposed to have culture like that, right? But we're really not doing anything that nobody else could do. Everybody else could do it.
Yeah.
They just don't dedicate the time to being better at their craft, right? We all go home and train. We all study. We all watch podcasts and YouTubes and documentaries and how things work. And that's what we do. We don't expect to get paid for that.
Right.
We'll pay ourselves, right?
Yeah.
I got paid $1
To train.
million last year because I watched YouTube. A couple videos, right? Podcasts. I went to trainings. I invested in my education myself. I paid myself. If I want a raise, I go to work,
Ooh, come on.
right?
great.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's
Stop
what we
expecting
do.
the boss to pay for you,
Yeah.
right?
Go out and make your
Ante
own
up.
paycheck.
Yeah. People that pay attention.
Yeah.
Right.
I had extremely frustrating experience when I was really trying to push podcasts and books, and I said, hey, you guys, this is no longer a an option.
option.
You're going to do this. And the response was, are you going to pay me to do this in my personal time? I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, you get paid when you go and you're better. And go, and I'm giving you all this good stuff. Go do it and get better. Grow yourself. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to be in the same place or worse 5 years from now, not in a
But they're not
radically-
teaching this in school, Andrew. Right? They teach us to memorize stuff. They
Right.
want us to be a bunch of good little worker bees, don't
Yeah.
they?
School doesn't stop at the end of whenever you stopped it. Continue to grow, read books, listen to podcasts, get out there and grow yourself, or you're going to be stagnant and you're going to have a unremarkable life. Go grow yourself.
You know, I think some of what you're talking about might also stem from the way that money is talked about by parents, right? How many people out there, how many of your parents told you that you shouldn't talk about money? How many of you? Anybody?
I mean, we never talked about money. Never discussed
People
money.
that say that typically don't have any,
Yeah.
right? Rich people talk about money all the time. It's all they want to talk about. And the friends that they hang around talk about it as well. There's nothing wrong with money. Money's not the root of all evil.
So that's so funny you mentioned that. I've been thinking the whole time, like, I have got to say the most misquoted scripture, and you just said it. Money is the root of all evil. That's not what it
not
says.
what it says.
It says the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. You can't love it. You have to love God first, your family, love your customer. Money's not bad.
No.
Some of the wealthiest people in the Bible had a lot of love and a lot of recognition, were not evil, had the money.
Russell Brunson says it was a tool that was created for exchange. That's all it is.
Yeah. That's good. I'm so glad you brought that up.
My pleasure. The ninja
buys you
strikes again.
choices.
Hiya!
Yeah, it buys you
It
choices.
buys you choices.
Yeah, for sure. Freedom
Yeah.
in a lot of cases. But
Not happiness.
it does not make you happy.
No.
Does not make you happy. That being said, I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is better.
Yes.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody likes to lay there with a pencil-sized needle jammed in your arm, given plasma so you can eat. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's not fun, and I've done that. I've had to do that when I was young and broke.
Well, and it always feels like the people that are, chasing after the phone bill, those are the people that are constantly sitting in our trainings saying, are you going to pay me
Yes.
to go home
Yeah.
and educate myself for 2 hours so that I can come back to work tomorrow a better person?
Yeah.
You're chasing your phone bill for $50. Go educate yourself. We gave you the tools.
Yeah.
But all you do is turn around and talk about people that are trying to help you. I've never understood that. All we do, this is me being here right now on this podcast is not for my benefit.
Nope.
I already know this stuff, right? And so it's for everybody else. But half the people that watch this are going to turn it off immediately, say they're scam artists. They don't know what they're talking about. They're up there talking about their money and being rich and blah, blah, blah. This isn't benefiting me.
Right.
I'm here to benefit you and to help you and to tell you to go get the education and not expect to be paid for every hour of your time.
Yeah.
Right? So I always find that very interesting.
So you have guys out there like Alex Hormozy or Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone. They are pretty congruent in saying the first investment you should be making, and this is from guys like Grant. He's a real estate guy. He wants you to invest money in. What's the first investment?
It's yourself.
It's yourself. Go pay for conferences. Go put money in. Invest into yourself because that multiplies. And once you have it, you get it for the rest of your life.
Right.
And it just quantifies. It's like compound interest, right? You can invest and you get that compound interest. How about you put that into yourself
Right.
and increase your ability, especially if you're in sales? Like it's...
Well, and it's also 100% of also who you surround yourself with. Troy says it all the time.
Yes.
Poor people talk about people. Rich people talk about ideas,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And we
100%.
have that conversation all the time. We find ourselves in situations often where we're at a table where people are discussing people, and we don't sit at that table for 5 minutes after that conversation starts.
Yeah.
We know where our time is valuable, who we want to spend time with, and that's not it. We want to go and talk ideas with people like Andrew Dobbins and Gene Slade and sit around over a nice dinner talking about what the future holds and how can we get 50 techs to come with us.
I got chills
Right?
now.
Like it is very lonely at the top, and I don't just want to be there by myself, but I also don't want to be there with anybody that is downplaying anybody or thinking they're surrounding themselves with people that are doing a bunch of harm to others, because we're not. You know, we're here to we've already served the community. We're trying to help serve technicians now and teach them, because I want them to be up at the top with us, right? That's our ultimate goal, is to provide for our peers, you know.
Somebody helped all of us.
Right. Yes.
Well, a lot of these guys too, they think sales is a bad word.
Yeah.
You know?
Sales is horrible.
And the thing is, I mean, if
It's because
you really,
they've been exposed to not professional sales.
I'm proud to be a salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
If
super
a professional
proud.
salesperson walked in this room right now, nobody would know it.
Right. I'm proud.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Troy.
it's
Keep
cool.
going, man.
I don't think it's a bad word. A lot of these guys do, but the fact is we've been selling for a long time.
Yeah.
Even when we were kids. Did you get that extra cookie from your mom? You probably were a good salesman after dinner. Your brother and sister didn't get the extra cookie. They're probably laying bricks somewhere, or a teacher or something.
Yep.
But you know, we've been selling our whole lives. You know, we sell ourselves to our spouses. That's how we put the ring on the finger.
That's right.
I mean, everything's a sale if you think about it. I don't think it's a bad word at all, and I'm super proud to be a salesperson.
They say in every conversation a sales made, right?
That's right. It's merely the successful transference of belief. If you go watch a movie and you like it and you tell your friend it's awesome, you should go see it, you just sold him. You didn't make any money, but you sold him on going to see the movie. Successful transference of belief. And
You're
so
unpaid
I don't know what
salesperson.
you did to sell her, but you were pretty good. Right? We all go through life and transfer our belief to others, or they transfer their belief to you.
Earlier, you were talking about going out and putting in the effort. What is that quote? I don't know if it's Brian Tracy or if it was Zig, but it talks about you'll get paid. You're gonna have to say the quote, but it's like, if you do more work now, then you're gonna get paid more later. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What's
know.
the name of that? What is that quote?
Basically, if you put the work in now and you're not paid for it,
Yeah.
you will get paid later when you're not putting the work in, right? So you invest your
Be
time.
paid more than you're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have a perfect example of that too. I had the owner of a company offer to send out a technician to do a ride along with me. And the technician wouldn't come because they weren't making enough money for the trip.
Gosh. Yeah.
Mind blowing, right?
Right.
Like, your owner was going to send you out. My owner had agreed.
Yeah.
So there's that, first of all. We're
Right.
inviting another technician who doesn't work for us, who's never going to make us money, to come out, sit in my truck,
Yeah.
learn my
fire
process firsthand, the fire truck. And you're not going to come because he's not going to pay you enough. And when certain people heard that, they said, I'll come for free.
Right.
Like, I won't even work for this whole month. I don't even care if you pay me.
Yeah.
What plane, what airline, when do I have to be there? I'm going. I've called off work. I've found a sitter for my kids. I will go. Right. But it's just funny to me that somebody could be offered the biggest opportunity in the world, and just because they're not being paid $20 an hour to pay that phone bill that they've been chasing, you're not going to come.
That is
Right.
mind-blowing.
But if he would have came,
Just
It's sad.
yeah.
right. But if he would have came, I mean, he could have, hundreds of thousands of dollars could be sitting in his bank account right now.
And
all
turn
he
it in a year from being
immediately.
broke to that, like,
You know, a couple of months even.
Yeah.
All you had to do was just, now you have the knowledge and the tools to be able to go back and serve the clients how you're supposed to do to be able to provide for your family. And just because you didn't get on that airplane because you weren't going to be paid what you thought was fair, you missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're probably still miserable somewhere chasing your phone bill.
Guaranteed.
And
Right?
I think we just
Guarantee
talked
it.
about this the other day, Gene. A lot of times when you're broke, you can't see past your pain.
Yeah.
That's all you see in
Yeah.
front of you. So you can't see the big picture because your pain hurts so bad. You can't see past it. So a lot of times we do get technicians like that. Everyone here knows that. They come into the field. They're looking for something new. They went to HVAC school, and they have a hard time seeing past their pain. And that's when it's the job of the lead or who's ever in the service manager, if they don't have the lead job there, to help them see past their pain.
when you say their pain, are you talking about them suffocating financially?
Yes, like chasing a phone bill.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's pain, right?
You guys keep saying chasing a phone bill. I want everybody to know exactly what you mean by chasing a phone
It
bill.
means that you barely make any money enough that your phone keeps getting shut off by the phone company, and you're going there and making little payments to keep it on day by day.
You guys
know.
ever worked with a technician where you had to pay their phone bill so that
Oh,
you could
yeah.
get a hold of them during work?
Multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Those are the technicians
Been
we're
there, done
talking
that,
about. You're
pimpin'.
chasing that phone bill, and you can't pay that phone bill and put food on the table, so you decide to eat, and that phone gets shut off.
Yeah.
And now you're still just playing the game of what bill do I pay? I got to get this phone
You're
turned on,
suffocating.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you get
can't
out
get
of
out.
that, when you have plenty of money, you're just breathing. You're not thinking about it. You're just breathing.
Right.
Right? So we don't want to be suffocating. We want to be just breathing, but we don't want to live for money, right? If money is air and you're living on a ventilator, that's miserable too.
Sure.
Right? So we just want to be breathing, but we're not living for money. Like the company needs profit.
It's a
We
requirement.
don't live for profits. We live to serve people because that has meaning. If we just live for profit, just emptiness, right? But I also don't want to be suffocating and stressed out financially.
Well, no, because
Right?
that just creates more problems amongst the real problems that we have in life that we need to focus on. You know, people getting sick in the family, different things like
Right?
that.
How do you afford treatment?
That needs
right?
those things need our attention. But when
Yep.
you're constantly thinking of how am I going to keep my phone bill on
Yep.
or my rent's 2 months behind, and I know Coral could attest, I've paid tens of thousands of dollars of my guys' bills over the years. Tens of thousands, truck payments, car payments, mortgage payments,
Yeah.
you name it.
But those are the first guys that will call into work.
Sick.
Those are the
Yeah.
first
And that's
guys.
absolutely.
Hey, Troy, I can't pay my rent. Can you give me some money? Yes, I can give you some money. The very next day, I got too drunk last
Yep.
night. I
Oh
can't
my
show
God.
up
Oh,
to
you
work.
have no clue.
I
She's
don't
seen me
feel
go through it.
good. You know what I mean? Wait,
Yeah.
I just paid your bills.
Yep.
And then you went and got
And then you
hammered.
went to
like
the
you stole my
bar?
money and
Yeah,
spent it
Yeah.
on
you
alcohol.
literally stole my money and went to the bar, and you know what I mean? So it's insane to see,
Yeah.
right? Like you are so deep in a hole, and somebody is here willing to help you get out of it, but then you just turn around and you're still not willing to work on yourself when somebody is
Yeah.
willing to work on you.
Yep.
And it's sad. It can be sad.
Earlier, I think it was you that said money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Right? There's a comedian that it says, yeah, money doesn't make you happy. Right. But have you ever seen someone not smiling on a jet ski?
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's pretty
Yeah.
happy. If you can afford the jet ski
Never
or the
been
boat, and
unhappy
like,
fishing with my sister.
you know,
You know what I
snowboarding down the
mean?
mountain. Snowboarding's expensive. Golfing's
Yeah.
expensive. Fishing's expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Choices make me happy.
Right.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
it gives you, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
It gives you choices.
Yeah.
And it eliminates the extra stressors in life.
yes.
You know, so
And then beyond that, like if you can start to get out of internal, right? Because you can only buy so much stuff, and you turn it external. Now, what can you do with your money? You
can give.
Who can you give to and get real significance?
yes.
All right, we're going to transition here for a second. We have Troy has to get going. The rest of us are going to keep talking. And so, thank you so much, Troy, for spending the time with us. It's been a real pleasure. $6 million a year. That is
Baller.
impressive.
Yes, sir.
20 plus years in the industry. Man, I'm so appreciative you've come on the show.
I think the best years are yet to come as well.
Yeah.
So look
Let's
out.
go.
Oh, you
Look
give me
out.
chills,
Thanks,
Doug.
Troy.
It was a privilege to be on the show, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man.
Take it easy.
All right, Coral. I just want to kind of set a precedence of comparing. Like you've got some incredible numbers. It sounds like you've got numbers that are better than even most guys that are out there. Definitely females. I know it's few and far between in the industry. Maybe even like top 0.1% of all people out there. I mean, 3.7 million is what you said?
Yeah, around 3.7. And it gets better every year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm constantly learning, constantly going to trainings, constantly watching things to help me. I moved into getting very interested in psychology, how
Interesting.
people act,
Okay.
body language, tone and inflection,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. That is, you know, you can only learn so much and learn how to explain a UV light so much.
Yeah.
Right. At some point, I said, well, what else can I do to better myself as a person, as a technician, as a partner, as a mother? And it's, okay, maybe it's time to start digging deeper into psychology.
Yeah.
And, you know, am I going to work on mirroring my clients in the next call? Am I going to figure out that if they do this with their mouth, then they're probably thinking this, right? And so that's kind of what I've migrated into to make myself better.
Okay.
Can I say something about that?
Real quick,
Go ahead.
I'm on a thought pattern. Like you know that the majority of homeowners that are making the decision are female, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe.
So you just have an easier time because you connect with the females, right? I mean, like it's super easy for you. Good looking girl
Right.
out there as a tech, and you're in a rich neighborhood too, right? Like you're in a
That's what
super
they
wealthy
say.
area. You can't do that in my market,
Right.
right?
You don't, you
easy
don't know
time
what
'cause
it's
you're a
like in this
girl.
market.
Yeah,
Right.
it's super easy. I've never heard an objection in my whole career.
It just flows. It's just so easy because you're talking to the ladies and they all love you. It's
Yep.
a piece of cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
So yeah, it's just been nothing but tip top for me.
So
You don't like get men that don't even want you there because you're a girl.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's easy because I am a female. Troy and I have had this conversation before, and the one thing I hear him say is, if it's so easy, then put your wife out in the field and watch her go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's that easy, then let her go make $400,000 a year, because it's so easy.
Yep.
So why can't all of the women in the world just become HVAC techs?
Piece of cake.
I walk into a lot of houses where, immediately men are very intimidated. I couldn't fix my own furnace, and now a girl is here to fix my furnace, and it's very, very, very tough, you
Yeah.
know.
Some walls up right away.
Yeah, immediately, right? And and I have to be disarming and show them, what I know. At that point, it's not showing them that I care about them, so I can show them what I know. It's what do you know, so that I can disarm them, so now I can show them that I care, right? And so I have to pivot and go about that a different way when nobody trains on that. I didn't learn that from Gene. Gene had no idea who I was going to be when I first, well, I shouldn't say that, huh? Because you did. He did.
He called it out.
He did. He told me. But, it's one of those things where I didn't have somebody to go and ask, like, I'm a female in a house. How do I handle this situation when it comes up?
Yeah.
I had to learn that myself because it happens so much. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is, right? And we
you
always
deal with
say
different perceptions and objections, right? The
Yeah.
guy in particular that couldn't do it, now you're in there,
Right.
that's a big objection. And then there are some things like connecting, like I would have a harder time connecting with a female than you, right? So some of the statistics, right, are true but also not. Like taller people, better looking, more fit statistically are leaders of companies and better salespeople, right? And so some of that stuff is like, oh yeah, I do connect better, but then I have all these other objections that you're not dealing with.
Right.
And just because you're 5'8" and a dude or 5'4" doesn't mean you can't sell better than someone that's 6'4". It's just statistics. You have to get that much better than your competition if you are a little different, right?
Got to
So-
outwork them.
That's
so
right.
I have to deal with all of the objections that all of us get on a daily basis, but then I have a whole new set of objections that I also
Right.
have to overcome. And a lot of people also don't think about the fact, we say it over and over and over again, women are the decision makers of the household.
Yeah.
99% of the time, right?
Yeah.
But women are also jealous creatures.
Come on.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Preach.
And so
That's a good-
what happens when I walk into a house, the woman is gone, she's running errands with her kids. The husband says, the technician's here. She's diagnosing the furnace, right?
Yeah.
That is an immediate to the wife. What do you mean? A
She just turns the
woman?
car around, comes
Yeah,
back
just reaches on, and now we're best friends and we're talking and we're buying and we're doing things, right?
Right.
But, that is also something that not a lot of people think about.
Yeah.
I am in another woman's home with her husband, her boyfriend, her whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that I promise you right now, no man in this industry has ever gone through.
Right.
So it's not easy. It's not. And I don't work I actually work in one of the poorest cities in Colorado.
Okay.
Our average household income is, I believe it's 35 to 40,000
Wow.
dual income, right? And so it's a very poverty driven place. There's not a lot of jobs. It is an old mining type of town.
What's the population?
Oh God, I have no idea.
Okay.
Pueblo.
I'm just thinking of the people with
it's
all
Pueblo.
the excuses. Like you can't do this where I'm at. You can't
Right.
sell at those prices here. You can't have that closing ratio here. I'm not like all of the excuses that they make
Right.
to make themselves feel better because they're inferior to you.
Yeah, right. You know, and that's okay if that makes them feel better and maybe helps them move along in their career by saying that. Then more power
It's
to
not
them.
going to help
right?
them. It's going to hold them down.
Right.
Stop making excuses.
And that's okay. But at the same time, it's like we had just said, like small-minded people talk about people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people who are successful talk about ideas, right? And it just goes straight back to that. If you want to come up with as many excuses in your head as to why I'm better than you, as opposed to just maybe listening to a couple of my podcasts,
Right.
or jumping in a truck and doing training, or even writing me an email and asking me, hey, funny meme, right? Why is it always how's my furnace and never how's my HVAC tech? Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, we need to be cared about as well, but you can, you know, nobody's reaching out to me asking what's going on. Right. But those are the people that are always coming up with the excuses of, well, she's got to be doing something
Yeah.
not ethical.
It's funny
different.
you mentioned the people reaching out because if I do like some recording on someone else's podcast, I'll have, you know, there are lots of people listen, right? I was on the Waste No Day podcast and shout out, it was cool that I was top 5 listened to.
Brian
I'm like, hey,
Burton.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was that?
Brian Burton.
Yeah. And I'm like at the end of the year, and then I look at how many people reached out. It's like 1 or 2 people. And I responded to them. I talked to them on the phone, like, yeah, and I coached them along. I'm not getting paid for that.
Right.
But 2 people, if I'm one of the top listened to, it's like, guys, reach out. We care about you. We're getting this content to you so you can get better and serve the community better that you're in. You're not even trying.
Yeah.
You're listening a little bit and then go beyond that. Get a coach. You know, you can hit me up on social media and I will help you. So,
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. You know, we're all here to help.
Yeah.
Right. We've talked about it this whole time. Like, we're here to serve. It makes us feel good. We're not chasing the small bills anymore, right? And so now our life is being fulfilled by seeing other people come up, right? And but you have to dedicate your life to that too, right? You have to be dedicated to the education, have an open mind, realize that there is more than 3 ways to skin a cat.
yeah.
Right.
So earlier we were talking about different trainings and things. We talked about what should we do, and we all know
Yep.
it's Joe Crisera. And if I say the hallway, where you're closing all the doors down the hallway, the
car barn.
objections, right? We know the different trainings. I remember all the way back when I first got started, not had my own company. I'm getting sent by the company I work for to the Lennox week-long training class, or the train boot camp.
Yep.
And then trainings along the way. I've been to, one was called Sales Team 6, and I've had those trainers out, and they're all phenomenal. And we met 5 years ago.
Something like
And then we invited you out to the company, hired and trained everyone, and
that. Gave me a
everyone got
boatload of money too. It was awesome.
he is expensive, guys, but he's amazing. It's totally worth it. So got the guys trained, and a guy that had been with me, I think, at that time for about 6 years, because we all learn the same stuff.
Right.
He was like, you could have taught that. I'm like, yes and no. Right? The prophet in his own land. And so they're hearing it from a different perspective with different inflection, different tone. And I took a bunch of notes of stuff that I didn't have yet. And I gleaned the gold nuggets. Yes, we're all learning the same stuff and we have different things we're gleaning from, but keep learning and training. And in a couple weeks, we're going out to an electrical mastery class. I don't know squat
I
about
can't
how
wait,
to do
man.
electrical.
I'm so excited.
Right.
I
And
can't wait to
so-
learn just one new thing. If I can just get
Right.
one really good nugget.
And so just because most of it you already know, doesn't keep going to conferences, keep reading,
Yep.
keep training, and keep getting better. Otherwise, you're going to get stagnant, I guess is my point.
And what's wrong with hearing the same thing more than once?
Absolutely.
Like I can't
'Cause
tell
you
you how many.
forget.
I can't tell you how many people have come to one of my mansion events 7 times.
Yeah.
And on the 7th time, they're like, "Dude, I learned more this time than the other 6 times combined."
Yeah.
Grant Cardone says if you read a book 9 times or 10 times, that you'll learn more on the 10th than you did the first 9. And by the way, Grant, we talk about Pueblo and how you're in basically one of the armpits of the country. Like,
It is.
Sorry, Pueblo.
we do apologize. I mean,
Apologize.
from a financial perspective, and
Yeah.
I love Pueblo. But GC, Grant Cardone, went out there on Undercover Billionaire and in 90 days built a $5 million company.
Yeah.
It's all about here. Like, business is never good or bad out there. It's only good or bad between your ears.
So, Gene, you are an absolute master with tone, inflection, and pausing. Was there a particular person, book, or what did you read to learn what you know in that vein?
I think it was a lot of Zig Ziglar, man.
Okay.
I remember back in the day, I had this, I think it was 10 cassettes by
Yeah.
Zig Ziglar
Yeah.
called How to Stay Motivated.
Okay.
And he was such a great storyteller and constantly kept my attention. And it was because of how he used his voice.
Yeah.
Zig was the best at that.
Okay. So cassettes, I did the same thing. Cassettes, I had See You at the Top and on cassette, driving.
I had that one on DVD. No, not
Oh,
DVD,
wow.
CD.
Oh,
CD.
okay. Very nice. You advanced before I did.
You remember those little tape recorders that you'd get like at a drugstore and you could record on the cassette by pushing the 2 buttons? I used to
Absolutely.
drive around with one of those up to my ear, like looked like a big friggin' cell phone, because I didn't have a CD player or a tape deck in the company truck.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many miles I drove just like this.
So it's so telling for success, right? If you're using your windshield time for wasting it, texting, definitely don't text on windshield time.
Right.
Phone calls or music or comedy, like guys, it's okay, but spend an hour a day on your windshield university
Yep.
and grow your doggone mind so you can grow your income and ability. Don't just be driving around wasting. If you have 3-4 hours a day windshield time, get in your rolling university and put it to use. That is your best unused dead space. Okay? Stop wasting your dead space with doom scrolling or music or video games or Netflix, like all of that stuff. Start to incorporate new habits to grow yourself. Otherwise, you will be stagnant.
Man, I remember one time where I was in just the worst sales slump that I had been in like a year. And I didn't know what was wrong. And I ended up calling one of my mentors and I'm like, dude, I can't close a door right now. I'm frustrated. I'm starting to get angry. And he said, what are you listening to right now?
Yep.
And I went, I got to go. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye. Literally hung up the phone, went straight to Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or whatever it was, and got myself 5 new, recordings to listen to. One of the best things that anybody can do is just use that windshield time for that, man.
Yeah.
Your favorite country artist is not going to pay your bills, are they?
No.
Right? But those tapes will. Those recordings will. These podcasts will. Listen to it over and over again, too. Take notes, for crying out loud. That's one of the biggest things that you were talking about earlier. You had me come out here the first time. You probably had more notes than anybody else in the room.
Yeah.
And I find that of owners. I find that of entrepreneurs. They're the ones that are constantly writing stuff down. You write it down, you got a chance at remembering it.
Yeah. When you think about, like, I do a lot of audiobooks. I use that drive
Yeah,
time.
me too.
Right? And so you think about a book. Think about someone that has spent their life learning this stuff. And how did they learn it? They learned it through failure.
Yeah.
And they take all of this 20, 30, 40 years of wisdom and compress it into a book and give you the best stuff.
For $20.
Right? Shoot, Audible, you have your dang monthly membership. You can just listen to it. And it's 40 years of compressed knowledge into help you not have to make all those mistakes, not have to deal with that pain. And I am a believer that success is on a mountain of failures.
Yeah.
I would just rather have that be someone else's failures to learn from because I make enough of my own mistakes already.
I
right?
agree.
So
It takes dedication, right? And iron sharpens iron. Like,
Yes.
why are you going to, like Gene said, listen to your favorite country artist to motivate you when you're not even close to doing the same thing? Why not pick up a book and listen to some, Tommy Mello, right?
Yeah.
The second his book came out, I was like, new book,
Absolutely.
like very successful. Never met him personally. We've exchanged a couple words, I think. But I knew immediately, I was like,
Yeah.
why would I not?
I
right?
bought it as soon as it came out too.
Yeah, I
I just
bought it as
haven't
soon
read
as
it
it
yet. I got so many books I bought that I haven't read.
And I was
Same
like,
thing
Oh,
or
yeah,
no?
great.
man. My Audible account
I
is like,
Yeah.
I sleep on it at night. It just doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, I have a really large Audible library. I love Audible. I do that, you know what I mean? And but yeah, it's like cool. Now I know what I'm going to be reading for a moment. And it didn't take long. Taught me a whole bunch of stuff, right? And I put that right in my tool bag and went to work,
Absolutely.
So thanks, Tommy. You probably
Shout
made
out to
me
Tommy Mellon.
yeah, a couple $100,000 last year, you know what I mean? So but yeah, I am always looking for something to continue my education, right? And I want it to be done by somebody who is doing what I do. Iron sharpens iron. I'm not going to go pick up a piece of granite and try and sharpen myself, right? I need somebody who's doing more than I am doing so that I can learn how to be better.
There's another book that Andrew recommended.
Yeah, so psychocybernetics is incredible about programming the mind and the subconscious. And, Think and Grow Rich, you have these books that are all about the scientific way to do that. Psychocybernetics, you can mentally and physically bring yourself into a theta brainwave and program the 95% of your mind, right? You have the operational system all being run by the subconscious. And the reticular activating system, the processing of what we see, can absorb 11 million bits of data per second while only actually processing to what you can think, 40 bits of the 11 million. And so you see what you think. If you're thinking negatively, you're going to see negative. If you have a poverty mentality, you're going to see in that way. If you have gratitude, you're going to see what you're grateful for. So if we all walk down the street, you can have 1,000 people walk down the street and all see different things. If I tell you right now to look at all the green things in the room, and then I say, close your eyes and name all the red things, you're not going to know any red things because you've been focused on the green things. And so what you focus on, with the law of attraction, there's a spiritual dynamic to that book that I am not in alignment with, right? I'm not speaking to the universe. I believe in God, Jesus Christ. If I'm praying within the will of what he wants. I want these things, but if it's your will. But that doesn't mean we can't pull the scientific fact of what happens by programming the subconscious. And if you haven't read Napoleon Hill and How to Do That and Think and Grow Rich and Psychocybernetics, you've got to dig into that stuff and rewrite your mind. The mind, if you look at a picture of the brain, you have all those grooves. And if you want to get out of that rut and get into a new groove, you have to mark it with dendrites and reprogram the neural pathways. That's neuroplasticity. You can reprogram your mind for whatever you want if you know how. Go read those books and learn how, and then make it a daily practice. Daily practice of gratitude, daily practice of journaling, daily practice and rewrite your future. You can do that. So when I am going to a call, I need to get myself. I have a tendency to come in. You guys see my energy, and I'm serious. I can blow customers out of the water, right? And so I have to calm myself before a call, get in the right state of mind, frame it to where I'm grateful, and I'm going in and I'm going to serve and love and program my mind that I'm excited for who I'm meeting. I'm grateful for it. And so I use the tactics in psychocybernetics, pull around the corner and envision a room. It's the same every time. Physically relax the body. You start with head and move down, and then you go all the way down to the feet, all the way back up. Relax the body, slow the heart, slow the breath, calm the mind, and then I'm programming it for what I want. And usually I'm not programming my mind to say this customer is going to like me. I'm programming my mind to I'm going to like them because I know the law of reciprocation. Law of reciprocation is if I love them, they're going to feel that back. If I'm grateful for them, they're going to feel that back. If I like them, they're going to feel that back. And if you go in with the wrong vibration and you're just going, if I come in with this high energy that I have right here, like when I'm teaching a class, it's the wrong energy.
You're gonna turn me off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll
This,
be like, this guy's weird.
well, or salesy, right? Come off like, oh, this guy's like a friggin' used car salesman, right? Because that's just I get excited. I gotta calm that down. You want to be excited and transfer emotion, but you don't want the veins popping out of your neck. You scare people, right? And so I'm conscious of that. And then I really like to match the energy of the person I'm talking to. If I've got someone that is a driver and doesn't have a lot of time, I'm going to talk a little louder and faster. If I've got grandma, I'm gentle. Like I'm lowering my tone, slowing my pace, right? So I use psychocybernetics to program myself so that I get that law of reciprocation going in the house. Everybody loves me. Everybody buys from me, right? I'm going to love my customer. I'm so grateful. And then I go into the house.
Yeah, I feel like I've been in a lot of situations where I feel like at the end of my day, when I've unpacked my day, and I'm reflecting on it, I'm like, dang, I was really good today.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it. Like I woke up, I was good. I went to every call. I sold everybody. Everybody was happy.
Mm-hmm.
5-star reviews across the board. Everything just fell right into place. But then a couple days later, it's like I'm unpacking my day again. Didn't really sell anything. Awkward day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awkward feeling.
Yeah.
From the beginning. Maybe woke up funny. Didn't really have like a good breakfast. Something happened in my morning where it just made my vibration off.
Mm-hmm.
And even I could just feel it. My clients felt it, right? Yeah. Like you can almost see it when you walk into the house. They can feel the stress.
Yep.
They can, also like if you're in there to only sell and to not love and to not care, they can tell, right? And so if you do want to get better at sales, you also have to program yourself to do mind control kind of like that with yourself. You have to be in a good headspace.
So you said something that just it triggered my thought process on this. I had a trainer come in for the company a long time ago, and they talked about stress. And he said, stress is a code word. Stress is a code word for fear. Mm-hmm. And the problem for stress and fear and anxiety is done often. You release cortisol in the body, which then is you need cortisol. When you wake up, you need it to go down when you sleep. If you're triggering that all day long, it can cause cascading negative effects in the body. Mm-hmm. And so what's interesting is cortisol cannot be released at the same time as the chemicals that are released when you have gratitude. And so, right. And so if we are emotional creatures and we have lots of different hormones going on. Cortisol is a hormone. How do we lower that? Because if you're going in with stress and fear and all that cortisol, homeowners feel it.
Right.
You can shut that down with thankfulness, praise and worship, or gratitude. And so how do you get out of that stress and into gratitude? It's tough when you're having a bad day, but you don't want to let it keep going and ruining additional calls if you had a bad call already.
I mean, it is simple. Like, people don't have to make it complicated. You can just write down 5 things that you're grateful for, no matter what it is.
It's good.
That's it. Everyone's going to watch this and be like, well, what do I have to do? Do I have to drive to a church? Do I have to do this? Like, how do I start being thankful for something in the middle of a bad day? It doesn't have to be hard. You can pull over, grab a bite to eat, sit down at the table, and all you have to do is say, I'm super thankful that I was able to sit down just real quick and eat this sandwich. Like, I'm thankful. Just saying the word thankful,
It's good.
And so it doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, even myself, I make things very complicated, and they don't have to be that way. The simpler, the better.
Yeah.
And I think that the more simple, the better the results.
Yeah.
Do you have it could be as simple as being grateful that you can tie your shoes.
Yeah.
That's it.
So this is the most powerful example of something, and it hits me every time I do it. But if you imagine the age that you are right now, and imagine going 30, 35 years into the future, you've aged. Your kids have grown, right? You can't do what you used to do. Your body can't do what it used to do. You're at a completely different physical health condition. Your kids might have kids. Like, you're in a different place in life. And you have a chance to go back 35 years to today. You have all the knowledge, you have all of the experience, and you have a chance to go back to right now. And despite the bad customer call, despite your kids are now, they've grown, you have them, you're a grandparent, maybe a great grandparent, and you have a day, 24 hours to go back to right now today and experience the age they are again. You have the health that you have. You have the business, despite all of the challenges of the day, and you can go and experience this day again. There could be Legos on the floor. You might even step on them. You might have the teenage daughters fighting. None of that matters. You're going to be so grateful for the 24 hours you've been given to go back and experience it again. You can't be grateful. Think about that and go and be grateful for that customer again. And grateful for this experience. Grateful that you can actually walk. You might not be able to walk. You might have cancer. You're 35 years into the future. Think about right now and all the things that you can be grateful for with that scenario. And if you can't do that, man, that will wreck your mind.
I don't think I've ever seen you get so emotional.
You imagine that.
Yeah.
I've cried in front of people telling that deal. I'm holding back a little bit right now, but man, and I got challenged, right? I got
you are human.
we got 4 kids. We got, some of them aren't doing their homework. Others are getting in trouble. You got just all type of different things, but to experience it again.
Yeah.
You're going to be grateful.
Amen. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. So if I'm having a hard time, do that, 5 minutes, grateful again.
Yeah.
And I encourage all of you to create a mental practice, and that will snap you out of the garbage mentality that you're in if you're being negative.
Strong.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to start ending the podcast.
I agree. Thank you guys so much for being here.
It's our pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.